Good morning and welcome back to the Energy Innovation Days 2021, Day 3, Digitalization. Now, electrification, connectivity, and now digitalization, 3 days on the today and tomorrow of energy. At my company, One Life, we are obsessed with air quality. And it's an incredibly complex topic. What goes in the air? What makes it better? What makes it worse? How do we clean it up? So many factors involved. And I was watching an interview this morning by a professor from UC Davis, and he said, there's no way we get air quality under control without a revolution in the energy industry. And I think this is also a learning from the past 2 days that all the issues, all the challenges of our time are interconnected. And the only way we master the challenges of our time is if we start thinking in systems. Or, as Thomas Beer would say, we have to break down the silos beyond industries, beyond sectors, beyond organizations. And this is exactly what we're doing today. Now let's look at the agenda of this day on digitalization. The things we want to cover today are, of course, key drivers of this energy transition, especially the digital ones, how we scale up and speed up this digitalization. We will ask, can elephants dance, to Billie Eilish? And we will cover connected mobility, the future of work, quantum computing, and from there we're going to look at what's next. Where to from here is how we conclude these 3 days. And now to kick off, I want to introduce someone who became a member of his political party, the FDP, the Liberal Democrats, when I was not born yet. So he has been doing this for a long time, and he's an absolute expert when it comes to the political framework of this. He is going to talk about North Rhine-Westphalia going digital, the innovation as a key enabler for the energy transition. He is the State Secretary in the Ministry of Economic Affairs, Innovation, Digitization, and Energy of the state of North Rhine-Westphalia. Welcome on stage, Christoph Dammermann.
Good morning, and thank you very much, Christoph Burkhardt, for this kind introduction. Dear ladies and gentlemen, dear all innovators and listeners from the E.ON community, I'm delighted to be part of this year's E.ON Innovation Days, and just would like to express a warm welcome from my side to the 3rd day of this digital event. Formats like this are important for the further development of the energy transition, particularly in the context of the corona crisis. We all became familiar with the digital format in daily use over the past year. For us, digital life and work became even more natural, and the distance that we had to keep was often successfully bridged digitally, both privately and commercially. As we all experienced, a crisis like this forces us to be more innovative than ever, think outside of every box we thought we knew, and to drive digitization to a new standard. Smart applications around us today more than ever, and the digitization of the energy sector is also advancing. This has an impact on our public utility landscape and the energy supply community. At the same time, as an active stakeholder, you also have an influence on the development of digitization in the energy sector. The question to ask is not what will remain, but it is what can we create. This shows that it's not an option to hesitate, but instead put innovative ideas at the forefront of our actions to shape the energy transition and our climate policy. Please let me frame this call to go boldly forward by some background for North Rhine-Westphalia. We do highly support the need for European and international cooperation in climate policy. We are committed to the objectives of the Paris Agreement and the European Commission's Green Deal. In this sense, our state government supports the ambitious goal of becoming the first climate-neutral continent by 2050. However, it's also important that the European Union promotes comparably ambitious climate protection targets at international level, especially within the G20 states. The basis for every cooperation, ladies and gentlemen, is individual contribution. North Rhine-Westphalia is an industrial state, and we perceive the transition towards carbon neutrality as both a major challenge that we are willing to accept, but mainly as an opportunity to become a pioneer in the field of climate neutral industry and green economy. We therefore will pursue an ambitious climate protection policy and increased our reduction targets for greenhouse gas emissions. We in North Rhine-Westphalia and Germany want to achieve climate neutrality by the year 2045. On the path to climate neutrality, the energy transition is of utmost importance. In this way, the relevance of fossil energy carriers for our energy supply has to decline in the long term. In Germany, and especially here in North Rhine-Westphalia, the coal phase-out fundamentally changes the energy landscape. Here again, we are willing to contribute, and we are taking the lead. Until 2025, all agreed national decommissions of lignite-fired power plants will take place in North Rhine-Westphalia. Until 2029, we account for 70% of the overall reduction of lignite capacities in Germany. In order to set the right framework conditions for shaping this transition, we published the energy supply strategy for North Rhine-Westphalia in 2019 and are in the process of updating it until the end of this year. Without doubt, renewables are the essential pillar of North Rhine-Westphalia's future energy supply. Given their untapped potential, the state government pursues a strong growth in onshore wind capacities and PV installations by 2030. However, renewables are only part of the story. Sector coupling, energy efficiency, grid expansion are other important aspects of an integrated energy system. So is hydrogen. It is a key enabler for achieving climate neutrality in Europe and here in North Rhine-Westphalia. Naturally, hydrogen has also gained tremendous attention on the European and international level. This is an important signal. We need close international cooperation to foster the development of a global hydrogen economy. As part of a global world market, we want to develop North Rhine-Westphalia into a hydrogen valley. Therefore, embedded in the framework of the European and national strategies, we presented a hydrogen roadmap for North Rhine-Westphalia last November. We need to address this subject now in order to make full use of this potential in Northwestern Europe and globally. Digitization is an important driver for the energy system of the future and essential for achieving the ambitious climate protection goals. In the course of the energy transition, more and more decentralized and volatile generation systems, especially wind and PV systems, are integrated into the energy system. This is achieved with the help of digital applications and products by enabling a flexible balance between demand and supply. This also leads to more efficiency in the overall system. Against this background, energy suppliers and network operators have to develop strategies and concepts in order to be able to offer digital business models. In order to optimally control this complex overall system, a powerful and decentralized digital infrastructure is required. Intelligent power grids, the smart grids, will enable the control and optimization of decentralized systems in real time. They combine different technologies and connect sectors by flexibly networking, decentralized generation plants, combined heat and power plants, district heating structures, storage facilities, very important, and last but not least, the consumers. This shows innovative use of digital solutions should not be limited to single sectors. It needs to address the energy transition and the ecosystem behind it was whole to become sustainably successful. With this integrative idea in mind, we launched the digital strategy for North Rhine-Westphalia in 2019 and continuously develop it in a participatory process. The next update is due this year. And we are proud to have a strong research landscape in North Rhine-Westphalia, as well as a strong energy sector, industry, and startup culture. The mindset, always perceiving the change as an opportunity, is what drives us. That is why we support innovative projects, such a few examples. First, the Fraunhofer Center Digital Energy, where interdisciplinary expertise in innovative, cutting-edge research from Fraunhofer Institutes and RWTH Aachen University from the energy sector, IT security, computer science, and digitization comes together. Second example, Quirinus Control Project that works on enabling high quality of supply in intelligent power grids. And third, research on digital systems and services for the energy system transformation of the Technical University Dortmund and the University of Duisburg-Essen. The innovation platform NRW that brings startups together with energy suppliers, municipal utilities, and other established companies. On the platform, companies receive support with innovation scouting and B2B partnering. And last example, the Design Nets project under the leadership of E.ON in 30 sub-projects, 46 partners from the energy sector, industry, ICT sector, and science researched, the optimized use of flexibility in virtual power plants. Nevertheless, it's also important to keep an eye on the ambivalent significance of digitization for the energy sector. Digitalization is both a major stressor for the resilience of the energy system itself, at the same time, an important starting point for increasing it. The comprehensive application of information and communication technologies makes an automated analysis of networks and the assets connected to them in real time just as possible as their intelligent control. In the event of a fault, this enables a situation report in real time, based on which the correct measures to stabilize or restore the system can be initiated. The data also provide indications of structural weaknesses in the system and could even detect malfunctions in advance with the help of artificial intelligence. Thus, the development status of digitization must correspond to the development status of cybersecurity. Network systems with security relevance need a high security standard. This again shows a stressor or a crisis, whether in smaller or larger scale, has always a disruptive momentum that can best be used to create a completely new, innovative approach. To sum it up, I'm convinced that cooperation is key for promoting the energy transition, and the innovation and digitalization will drive us there. We face the same challenges. So why not finding common solutions instead of working individually? The state government will accompany this process and inform, advise, and support the relevant market players. For example, with our new state company, NRW Energy for Climate, who will act as a driving force for the energy transition and climate protection projects in North Rhine-Westphalia from 2022, and is now establishing. Via our climate protection competition, Energiesystemwandel NRW, we promote projects that are dedicated to digitization in the energy system with a total of 50 million euros. So for the last day of this event, please let me encourage you to be open to learn about breaking new ground in the digitalization of the energy sector and being part of it. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you so much, Mr. Dammermann, for these comments and this outlook. If you don't mind, would you mind joining me over here for a quick question, because we have a few minutes left, if I may ask you one question. There's a whole network, there's a whole ecosystem that you need to make this transition work and to use innovation for this future. How do you see private and public collaboration to make this successful? What do you need for that?
I think it's the main point for us to have a good cooperation, but it's no target only for the public sector. We can use the problems only with a good cooperation.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Dammermann, for being here. Thanks for answering the question and for giving us all these comments and insights. We'll be back here at 10:30 with the next session. Thanks so much.